Welcome to today's Explainer. Go ahead and pull up a chair, because today I'm putting on my advisor hat. Imagine it's just the two of us sitting across a desk from one another, and we're getting ready to pack your figurative suitcase. But today we aren't talking about cramming in extra swimsuits or travel adapters. We're talking about packing absolute peace of mind. We're going to build your ultimate pre-travel safety net, so you can step onto that plane knowing you're totally protected from the unpredictable.
Okay, let's just quickly dive into our itinerary for today. First up, the unseen travel essential. Then, we'll compare coverage options, look at tailored plans for seniors and students, run through your pre-travel buyer checklist, and finally, tackle the fine print and exclusions.
So, think about your last trip. You probably spent, hours meticulously checking off items? Passport? Check. Visas? Check. Hotel confirmations? You got them. But let me ask you this. Did you pack your peace of mind? If your luggage just vanishes into thin air, or you suddenly face a medical emergency halfway across the globe, are you actually prepared for that fallout? That's exactly the question we're answering today.
All right, moving right into part one, the unseen travel essential.
We spend so much time obsessing over the tangible stuff, the flights, the resorts, the excursions, but the absolute most critical item you take with you is literally invisible. That unseen essential? It's travel insurance. Basically, it's a safeguard that protects you against unexpected risks and some pretty significant financial losses while you're away from home. Now, a lot of folks view this as just some optional add-on at the checkout screen. But here's a wild fact for you. It isn't always optional. A lot of countries actually require you to have mandatory travel insurance just to apply for a visa. It's really that critical to global travel.
So what does this safety net actually catch? Well, we're talking about major medical emergencies and sudden illnesses, which, let's be honest, can be staggeringly expensive abroad. But it also covers those massive trip-ruining inconveniences, like trip cancellations, flight delays, or your luggage getting lost or stolen. Basically, this insurance is the mechanism that takes a potential financial disaster and shrinks it down into a manageable hiccup.
Which brings us to Section 2, comparing your coverage options.
Look, not all trips are the same, and not all travelers are the same, right? A solo backpacker has completely different needs than a family of 5 heading out on a luxury cruise. Just to give you an idea of the sheer variety out there are 7, yes, 7, distinct types of travel insurance plans available in markets like India alone. From domestic to international to highly specialized packages, you have options, and that means you never, ever have to settle for a one-size-fits-all policy.
The most basic choice you're going to need to make right out of the gate is frequency. Single trip insurance is, exactly what it sounds like. It's designed for a one-time journey. You buy it, you take your trip, and it ends. Simple. But if you're a frequent traveler taking several trips throughout the year, multi-trip insurance is absolutely your ideal bucket. It covers you continuously, saving you the total headache of having to buy a new policy every single time you pack your bags.
Now, let's look at Section 3, tailored plans for seniors and students.
Elderly travelers naturally have specific vulnerabilities, so senior citizen travel policies heavily prioritize things like emergency medical evacuation, 24-hour assistance services, and accidental death coverage. It's all about ensuring a safe, secure journey. But for a student studying abroad, the focus shifts entirely. Yes, they still get standard medical and baggage loss coverage, but the real goal here is study-focused peace of mind. It allows them to just focus entirely on their education and exploring new cultures, without constantly stressing about standard travel risks.
All right, let's get practical with Section 4, your pre-travel buyer checklist.
It's time to finalize your actual pre-travel checklist so you get the absolute best value. Step 1. Always ensure the policy covers the entire duration of your trip, literally from the minute you leave your house to the minute you walk back through the front door. Step 2. Check those claim limits so you know exactly how much financial assistance is actually available to you. Step 3. Use a premium calculator. Just input your destination, age, and trip length to compare quotes side by side and find a great deal. Step 4. Read the terms carefully, and crucially, know exactly how to file a claim during a medical emergency. You do this by saving the 24/7 assistance hotline number offline and keeping digital copies of your policy right on your phone. And finally, Step 5, check customer reviews. You definitely want to know the insurer actually pays out their claims when people really need them.
And now for the stuff nobody likes to talk about. Section 5, the fine print and exclusions.
Here is the harsh reality of the fine print. If you have a pre-existing element, meaning a medical condition that existed before you purchased the policy, any expenses arising from it during your trip are typically on you. The insurance company is there to cover unforeseen events, right? They aren't going to bail you out for conditions you already knew about before you boarded the plane. It's a tough pill to swallow, but absolutely essential to know.
And the exclusions certainly don't stop there. Seeking thrills, extreme sports like bungee jumping, skydiving, and rock climbing are almost always excluded unless you buy a specific hazardous sports add-on. Furthermore, claims related to chronic mental health disorders like anxiety and depression are typically not covered either. Oh, and if you happen to find yourself in the middle of a nuclear weapon attack or radiation-induced event, well, you'll probably have bigger problems than filing an insurance claim. But yes, you're entirely on your own dime there too.
There's one more massive exclusion you need to be aware of if you have to seek treatment abroad, and that's the type of medicine. Typical medical expense clauses only cover traditional Western medicine. If you prefer alternative therapies, things like homeopathy, Ayurveda, or naturopathy, your travel insurance policy is almost certainly going to exclude those entirely. The rule is crystal clear here. You have to play by their medical definitions if you want them to pick up the bill.
Which brings us to the end of our explainer, and it leaves us with one incredibly important question. You would never dream of showing up to the airport without your passport, right? So knowing what you know now about the risks, the sheer costs, and the absolute necessity of being prepared, are you truly ready to travel without a safety net? Take some time, review your plans, double-check your coverage, and hey, travel safe. See you next time.